All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is, and right here, right now, we actually have the legendary, the one and only New Jersey's finest. We got Chill Rob G right here, live on the line, man. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good, man. How are you, bro?
I'm doing great, man. I got to say, first and foremost, man, thank you so much in advance for just giving us a bit of your time here this evening, man, and just coming on the Canadian FM radio station airways, man. It definitely is an honor.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you reaching out. You know what I mean? A lot of people have been reaching out lately, and I think it's fantastic. And I'm happy to talk to you. What's going on? What's happening?
But I want to take you back to the very beginning of your illustrious career within the music industry, man. And I have to ask first and foremost, what actually made you decide to get into the music industry initially, man? Because you're so gifted and talented at what you do.
I don't know. What made me decide to get into it? I don't know. I just, hip-hop is around. It was a thing to do. Everybody was rapping. So I started rapping, too. I was pretty good at it. And, I met the 45 King. He said, yo, you should make a record. I said, okay, let's make the record. So we made the record. And then, bam, I met Stu Fine and I was in the music business.
And also as well, man, you are actually a member of the original version of the Flavor Unit. I was wondering, what is the story behind that group? And of course, how did you actually get connected with the other members?
The story behind the group is, I don't know what that is. But I got connected with them through Apache, who was a friend of mine from high school. And he knew, the 45 King. I ran into him on the street. He asked me to come through. So, we was all down in Mark's basement one night. And we were freestyling, and that was it. After that, Mark called me up. I'm sorry, I told the story 100 times, I forget the details. But Mark called me up. He was like, yo, we should make a record. So we went down to John Mason's studio. We made a demo, gave it to Red Alert. That's how that part happened. So as a Flavor Unit, it was a bunch of friends from New Jersey. My man Ramsey had a thing called the RE Posse, and he wanted everybody to get down with him. Ramsey had Latifah already, and Latif, and Apache. And, I was like one of the later additions. And, Ramsey's idea was to do fashion shows, and that group just kind of evolved into the Flavor Unit. We weren't really doing fashion shows and block parties. We were making records because we had the 25 King who was plugged into Red Alert. So that's how that happened.
And I gotta say as well, with the Flavor Unit, there were so many members throughout the years, man. You know what I mean? Like from Naughty by Nature to, of course, Queen Latifah. You know what I mean? Lakim Shabazz. Like the list goes on of all the legendary individuals that were actually a part of the Flavor Unit, whether it was the original or the revamped versions throughout the years.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree with you.
And also as well, man, in the year 1987, you actually inked a deal with Stu Fine's Wild Pitch Records. I was wondering, how did that record deal come to be for you? And of course, what was it like working alongside Stu during the late 80s?
So how did the record deal come to be? It was the demo that we gave to Red Alert. Once I met the 45 King, we did a demo. We gave it to Red Alert. We played it on the air at Hot 97. Stu Fine called him up to find out who that artist was because, I think Red announced that I was an unsigned artist when he played the record. So, Stu Fine at that time was trying to find some talent for his new label. He had one kid, well, he actually had two. He had Latif, which was, other Flavor Unit talent, and he had this other guy named Lamanye. And, he was trying to get some artists together on a label.
And I gotta say as well, back in those days, man, back in those days with Wild Pitch, man, you actually released one of the most iconic records to ever actually come out within hip hop, man, and that was actually on May 23rd of '89, where you actually released the album Ride the Rhythm. I was always wondering, man, what is the story behind that iconic record? And of course, did you think it would be as big as it is today when you initially recorded it?
What is the story behind Ride the Rhythm? That's a question. I don't know, man. It's an album that I made. There's 10 songs on it. There's, is it 10 songs? I don't even know. It's been a minute. But, it's got some good songs on it. I liked it. Put it out. People, it got me a lot of, respect in the hip-hop arena because people knew I could spit a little bit. I was half decent. So that's nice to know. People liked it. Yeah. The big hit off of there was Ride the Rhythm. Not Ride the Rhythm. Ride the Rhythm is a big hit. But the Power is huge. Everybody loved the Power, right? So that was a big deal for me. And, there's a story behind Ride the Rhythm. It was my first album. 1990 it came out.
And I gotta say as well with the Power, man, I remember actually that when that video actually dropped on Yo MTV Raps, man, they were playing that, so much, man. They were definitely giving you a lot of TV time with that phenomenal music video.
Yeah, that was a good look too. They were playing that video a lot. It was my first, dance. The records that I was making before the Power came out weren't really, dance pop records like that. The Power was like a new thing. It opened me up to a new audience. It was a good look.
And with the Power as well, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that was also the 45 King and Nafi Santino that actually produced that phenomenal song.
Nah. The way the Power came about was a lot shadier than that. I talked to a guy on the phone from Texas recently named Anthony Carter. Anthony Carter told me he was the guy who came up with that beat. Because the Power is basically a remix of Let the Words Flow. Let the Words Flow was on my first album that you just said was such a great classic, and it was. But somebody took the lyrics from Let the Words Flow and remixed it into the Power. Kaboom, that thing blew up. But, the person's name is Anthony Carter. It's not just somebody, right? And that's where that came about.
And also as well, before we move off the topic of that phenomenal Ride the Rhythm record, that was actually chosen by the Source magazine as one of the top 100 hip-hop albums of all time. I was wondering, how does it feel to know that you actually created one of the best hip-hop records in the world?
It's great. It feels fantastic. That's what I say. I wake up every day and say, I created one of the best hip-hop albums. No, I don't. No. It's good, man. I'm glad people like the music. I'm glad people loved it. You know what I mean? I liked it, too. Got some new stuff in the works. Hope y'all like that, too. And I'm just having fun. I was just, y'all caught me having fun on that first album. Hopefully you'll catch me having fun on this one, too. And that's how I do that.
And also as well, jumping ahead into the millennium, man, you actually recorded your second album, Black Gold, but it actually remained unreleased for a few years before it actually dropped on iTunes in 2008. I was wondering if you can actually shed some light on that project, and of course, why wasn't it originally released when it first got completed?
Yeah, Black Gold was never, ever, ever supposed to see the light of day. It is not an official album by my standards at all. Black Gold is just a collection of singles. It's a bunch of singles that I was doing. I would do some records over here, do some records over there. I was just, having fun. I'm staying sharp. I'm doing different songs, getting into different projects. And this one man found over this music, pulled it together, and released it as Black Gold. Then he told me after the fact that that's what he had done. You understand what I'm saying? So that wasn't a total Rob Julie. I've been beefing with his, it's the way the business goes, man. People do shady things. You know what I mean? That's another shady thing, Black Gold.
And I gotta say as well, me personally, I really enjoyed that record. The one song that I always liked was actually the song "No Matter What." I think that was like track 3 or 4 on that record. But when I listened to it, I wouldn't even expected that album was actually like partially done.
Well, I'm glad you liked it, man. I mean, yeah. Listen, I'm not trying to say it's a terrible record at all, but what I am saying is that it wasn't like I was working on an album and then that is the album that I was working on. I was working on various projects, and then various songs got pulled together, and they called it Black Gold, and that's how that works.
And I gotta ask as well, because obviously, like as you said, you're not really happy with how it sounds coming out. Do you think that if you can, do you think you'd ever pull it and maybe kind of revamp it into the sound that you actually really like and maybe put it back out?
You might have given me an idea. that might be something I would do. Sure, why not? Absolutely.
And also as well, man, in the year 2015, June 26th to be exact, you actually released a single titled "Tell 'Em," featuring R.A. the Rugged Man. I was wondering if you can tell us a bit more about that collaboration, and of course, what was it like just working alongside R.A. for that single?
Yo, R.A. is dopest, fastest, rappingest dude I know with the speed. Now, let me just. So we was I don't know. I ran into RA by random accident on Facebook. I happened to be working on a project at the time. The name of that EP that I released is called "Chilled Not Frozen." I did that with the dudes, the Bankrupt Europeans. My man Snafu. Shout out to them. And first of all, wait, hold on, man. I didn't even say nothing. Shout out to all the people listening. You know what I'm saying? Jersey City, South Carolina, everybody that's listening. You know what I'm saying? Peace to the earth. All of y'all, you know, Georgia, everybody that's listening. All right, so Snafu, Bankrupt Europeans, did the EP, and yeah, that's all I'm saying.
And I gotta say as well, you guys definitely had some phenomenal chemistry on that single as well, man. I really hope down the line you guys actually partner up and actually make that collaboration happen again.
I mean, well, you know, I'll reach out to him, see if he wants to do it. Already is cool, man. You know, he's doing a lot of work right now. He's on the road. He's got this kid Afro. You know what I mean? Doing his thing.
And also as well, I actually read that you were actually working on brand new material as well. I was wondering, I know of course you can't let too many cats out of the bag, of course, because it's an unfinished project and it's not released yet, but if that is true, what can our listeners actually expect from this brand new Chill Rob G record?
Trap music. Just, you know, more of the same stuff. If you like the old stuff, you'll like this stuff too.
And I gotta say as well, it definitely sounds like it's gonna be a phenomenal record. You know what I mean? I'm excited to hear another record by you.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks. So you got one coming. Merry Christmas.
Hey, most definitely. I have to ask, what is the anticipated release date of this record?
You know, I got like one more song to do. I got like a couple of collaborations on it. I'm waiting for my man to come through with his last little piece of it, and then it's a wrap. It's ready. I'm done. I'm done recording it.
But I have to ask, man, what is next for yourself, Chill Rob G? Of course, we just spoke about your brand new record that's coming out that's almost completed. But other than that, is there anything else you would still like to talk about or promote? Well, we still got you here live on the Canadian Dial this evening.
I mean, you know, just look for that new record. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple little shirts and things I might want to send your way. Might got some sneakers. You know, and that's it. So, Rob G, a happy holidays to everybody. You know, enjoy your family. And there it is, man.
But also, Chill, before we actually part ways, man, if you can, drop them social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on yourself and this brand new record if they're not already doing so.
Yeah, I mean, you can just type Chill Rob into your social media wherever you are. If you type in Chill Rob, you'll find it. That's where I'm at.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, Chill, thank you so much, man, for just taking the time out of your busy evening and sliding into the 97.7 FM airwaves this evening. It definitely was an honor and most definitely a privilege, man. And hopefully down the line we can make this happen again.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot, yo.
Hey, man, you are most certainly welcome. Have yourself a wonderful night and definitely a happy Thanksgiving as well to you and your family.
All right, man.